I don't know if you've heard, but we are doing a live show. Yes, TSS World Cup Live on June the 11th at the El Rey Theatre in Los Angeles on the opening night of the World Cup, the night before the USMNT kick off their World Cup campaign against Paraguay. We're absolutely buzzing for it, and I know we are plugging it a lot at the moment, but that's just because we want as many of you as possible to be in that room at the El Rey Theatre. It looks like an incredible venue. It'll be an incredible night. This will be the first live show that we've done in nearly 4 years since the last World Cup. So if ever there was a time to come along and support us and to sample what I think is a pretty special TSS community, now is the time to do that. The atmosphere will be buzzing, with it being the opening night of a home World Cup for the USA. We'll have exclusive merchandise, we'll have some special guests. Ryan might even sing the TSS unofficial World Cup anthem, which he's yet to write. Yeah, he better get on that quickly. Joe might do some push-ups on stage. So as I say, it'll be an incredible night. Please visit tssworldcup.com to buy tickets, and we'll see you there.
Welcome to the Total Soccer Show Weekender. It's the show where we look ahead to the biggest games of the weekend, and we've got a little bonus interview today with an official who's going to be at this summer's World Cup. Can you believe it? My name's Ryan Bailey. Joining me today, hi Taylor Rockwell. How's your week been?
Rough. Poked in the eye. Dog had like a stroke, seizure incident. Children are children, but you all are lovely, so here we are.
Super glad I asked. Really am.
Yeah. If you'd like me to go even heavier, I was going to ask you, the last time we had an official referee on the show to be the official referee consultant, it was before I knew that Pierluigi Collina? Mm-hmm. The famed referee? I did not know that he had alopecia. So I made a joke like right away about like how like to be a good ref, do you have to be bald? And he was sort of like, we should stop. So if you didn't start out that awkwardly, you're doing great, my friend.
Well, and when you re-recorded, you just made a joke about his giant eyes, and he was cool. He was cool with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out what kind of faux pas I made later when we hear that interview in this episode. Graham Ruffin, hello, how are you?
I'm good, Ryan Bailey. How are you? What do you have planned for the weekend? Like me, are you a little bit lost that now that your team's season is over? I spent weeks/months anticipating. I was desperate for the end of the season, and now it's here like a few days later. I'm like, what am I going to do on Saturday? I don't know.
Yeah, I'll survive until more League One action red hot comes in August. I can't hardly wait for that, Graham. This weekend, of course, as we all know, in the US, Graham, it's Mother's Day.
That's not the same for us, though, is it?
No. I saw the panic on your face. I saw the panic.
That was a genuine panic.
It's different here, right? Please.
Oh, you guys do it earlier, don't you, Graham? Didn't you already do Mother's Day?
I think so. Yeah, I think we've done it already.
Yeah.
Oh, Graham.
Yeah. So if you live with a British mother who's in America, they get 2 Mother's Days. Isn't that nice for them?
Like the Queen. The Queen had 2 birthdays.
Do you get 2 Father's Days or no?
There's only one Father's Day. They're the same day in the UK and
Really?
US. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I know.
Oh, we're getting shortchanged there.
Right?
A little bit.
It's all right.
Men have it so hard, Graham.
Yeah.
I think we'll be all right.
Men's rights and all that. Come on.
Joe Lowry, how are you?
Great. I really am great. I did not realize that those holidays were different. That's fascinating. Graham, I hope you clutched up, pal.
Yeah, my heart skipped a beat there.
Yeah, you're okay. You're clear. Don't worry. You don't.
I got you a kit, my love. Here you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
a good
implies
idea,
that
actually.
like Graham does do a big to-do for Mother's Day, and thus like didn't have it planned, but then also didn't remember if Mother's Day had already happened.
Yeah, risky.
I'm confused as to your level of concern, Mr. Ruffin.
Yeah, don't question that, Taylor. That's for me to understand and for me to not understand. Yeah. It's an internal conflict.
My usual pattern on Mother's Day is focus on my wife and be like, don't forget that. She deserves things. And then forget that I also have a mother and that she also has a mother and a stepmother. And then the planning goes out the window and I have to improvise things really fast.
Yeah. I imagine for Graham, one of his 16 screens just says Happy Mother's Day on it on that Sunday. So that's a nice.
And the nod is like a little steeper, I think, sort of in their interaction.
Yeah, what more do you want?
Firmer handshake that day.
That's affection.
Very good. Hey, do you know what I heard, Joe? If listener is looking for the perfect Mother's Day gift, they can go to the website tssworldcup.com. Because if you go there, you can buy tickets to our live show in Los Angeles. TSS World Cup Live on June 11th. The perfect Mother's Day gift.
Yeah, all the mothers should come along.
That's right.
Genuinely, I'm sure there's a lot of mothers that would very much enjoy that, and I hope they are there because we will have a lot of fun.
Yes, we will do indeed. At the El Rey Theatre on... Now, I've got pelters from our Discord for the way I pronounce the name of the street in Hollywood.
Wilshire.
Is it Wilshire or Wilshire?
We don't know. None of us are from LA.
I think it's Wilshire, isn't it?
I say Wilshire, and I've been lambasted. Is it Wilshire?
I think it's
I
pronounced
think it's Wilshire, like SURE.
Jack.
You'd be like sure. So maybe not even that for you.
Wilshire.
Probably the name of the street doesn't really matter, though, right?
No.
You can just search the theater name.
Ryan's still getting paper maps out on the bonnet of his car, on road trips.
Yeah. How else am I going to find out the longitude of my destination, Graham?
I don't have an answer for that. But yes, people should come along to the live show on June 11th at the El Rey Theatre. If anyone is thinking about coming along and needs convincing, go look at the venue. It's such a cool venue. It's a proper LA theatre. There's a bar. There'll be a merchandise booth. There's a taco place next door. What more could you want? I'm very excited about it. I put some YouTube viewers will now know that there's a promo at the start of all our episodes, which apparently is a jump scare from me at the start of that. And I put some images of the venue in there because I just think it looks awesome. So please come along.
It does look awesome indeed. Your mum's going to love it. TSSWorldCup.com. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to the games we're looking forward to this weekend, this Mother's Day weekend. Taylor, to start off, is there a Premier League game that has a big effect on both the top and the bottom of the table?
I think there might just be, my friend. I have selected West Ham v Arsenal Sunday at 2 p.m. It's a tale of two clubs for sure, because if Arsenal win this one, it, in my mind, more or less relegates West Ham to relegation, which I guess I now realize is where that term comes from. But then also, I think kind of cements Arsenal as winning the title. Maybe that's insane. Maybe that's way too dramatic, but with City dropping points in midweek, it feels like Arsenal getting a result against a tricky opponent on the road, an opponent who has like somewhat literally everything to play for. It seems like that would be a hiccup that could cost Arsenal in the past if they're able to get past this game. It feels like kind of, if not fully smooth sailing, it does seem like things have kind of steadied for them and they're moving in the right direction. And for West Ham, it did seem like they too had found a good run of form and were in good form until that 3-0 loss to Brentford. And now I'm sort of back to being like, are you all good? Have you found out like ways of beating stronger opponents and ways of staying in games, or are you going to get kind of blown out as soon as you concede? And so it's a game that I think could be a frustrating result for Arsenal in which they're not able to take their chances, or they don't get many clear-cut chances, or it is really physical and West Ham find a way to get a point or maybe even three. And then I could also see a scenario in which Arsenal grind out a 1-0 win or Arsenal get a 4-0 win. It seems like a lot of different results are on the table, and I think that makes for really compelling television at this point in the season.
It should do. It will be interesting with Spurs being in action on Monday as well. They're facing Leeds on Monday this weekend, so there'll be a little bit of time. This game is Sunday 2 Eastern on NBC, the West Ham game. I get the feeling that Arsenal are going to win the title and Tottenham are going to survive, and North London's going to be happy this year. Feels likely now, right?
Possibly, yep. Spurs looked a lot better last weekend, so I
You
don't know
got
if that
so
counts
whisper quiet, I literally could not hear what you said in my headphone. So that's why I'm silent in response to what you said.
ASMR. Right, yeah. We're branching out. I said Spurs are staying up. You heard it here first. After Ryan said it.
So like the thing that Taylor and I said all year long. That thing?
Yeah.
That thing.
The thing you said wasn't going to happen, like on repeat?
I think I take my victory lap on saying it was a possibility earlier than anyone else and putting money on it that I'm now not going to see again. Yes, that's my victory lap.
Yeah, congrats, man.
You still got
Graham,
cash
can
out,
you
Graham?
stay on brand and like I don't know, maybe talk about Scotland or something like that, and the title race being all still to play for or over or both things simultaneously?
I'm happy to do that. Ryan, not so much. I've been teed up, Ryan, by someone else. Don't take it personally. Yes, I know this has become a common theme these last couple of weeks, but I have to take us to the Scottish title race again, which I don't think I'm being biased, has been one of the storylines of the season anywhere in Europe this season.
Certainly,
and we are
according
now,
to Graham, yes.
Yes, but, it's on big Paramount and big channels that I definitely have heard of before. We are now at the crunch. This is it. We are going to get an outcome one way or another over the next couple, 2 or 3 weeks. Yes,
Okay.
This is it.
Not next
I'm
week.
actually going to highlight two games. So, because they're intertwined. So the first game is Motherwell against Hearts on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Hearts beat Rangers on Monday in what was probably the most momentous Scottish League match for my lifetime.
The last one?
Like I don't even know. No, these are bigger games. Like this is a new level we're reaching, because that is Rangers now out of it. They're 7 points behind with only 3 games to go. And it meant Hearts stayed 3 points ahead of Celtic. They are so close now. They're in touching distance. 3 games to go until the end of the season. And watching them come from behind to beat Rangers on Monday, that was the gut check. It feels like there's always one in every big sporting triumph, like a moment where you have to prove what you're made of. And Hearts prevailed in that situation. Now, though, because of the nature of the split, they have another tough game away to Motherwell. Motherwell, who beat Rangers at Ibrox a couple of weeks ago. Motherwell, who play the best soccer in the country. So this is absolutely not a gimme for Hearts at all. Then it's Sunday, the following day at 7 a.m. Eastern. Joe, you be getting up for that one? What's that, 5 a.m. Western time? So the next day, you've got the final Old Firm derby of the season with Celtic hosting Rangers. Depending on what happens in Motherwell the night before, this could be must-win for Celtic. Now, they're actually on their best run of form of the whole season. They have won their last 5 games in a row. They are scoring a lot of goals. Daisen Maeda has finally locked in. So if they can take it to the final day of the season, in which Celtic host Hearts, I don't feel great about Hearts' chances. So it might be about Hearts getting it done before then. And there is a very feasible scenario where this weekend is the weekend we all look back at and remember as the weekend it was effectively settled. If results were to go Hearts' way this weekend, so they win and Celtic drop points, they can win it on Wednesday next week by beating Falkirk at home. That's how real it is now. Something that I never thought I would see in my lifetime. Like, there's certain things where I'm like, as great as it was, as momentous as it was, Scotland qualifying for a World Cup, would I have bet on seeing that in my lifetime? Yeah, maybe there was a chance. I never thought I would see a team other than Celtic or Rangers winning the title, and it's tantalisingly close for Hearts now.
Wow, there we go. Joe, for next Wednesday, what kind of street parade have you got planned for Hearts Falkirk?
Huge. Big street parade. Lots of inflatable hearts.
Mm-hmm. And Falkirks?
And yeah. Well, we got to get the inflatable Falkirks. Yeah, I can't forget about that.
Graham, sincere question here. If Hearts do win it all, what kind of gift baskets do they send to Wilfred Nancy and Russell Martin?
Yeah, some big ones. Yeah, particularly, to be perfectly honest, and this might be unfair on Nancy, who I think is a good coach, particularly to Wilfred Nancy, who was just a terrible fit for whatever reason. I don't know if it was the players who gave up on him, but for him to lose, what was that spell like? They lost 6 out of 8 in a season when, all things considered, Celtic have still managed to win most matches they played this season. I have no idea what happened there. So, thanks, Wilf, I guess, if Hearts get over the line.
Oh boy, there we go.
He played a part. He played a part.
Yeah. Plenty to look out for in Scotland. I'm going to take us to the Champo and the Championship playoffs, if you don't mind. We've got Middlesbrough taking on Southampton Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on the Paramount. This is obviously the first leg of the playoffs here. The other playoff is Hull versus Millwall. That's happening later today on this Friday here. Borough, of course, we've got interest in Aidan Morris playing for them. And also we've got former Charlotte FC star Alison Malunda and former non-Charlotte FC star Riley McGree.
Yeah.
And of course, Southampton
He always gets a mention.
Do love to. Still knocking. He's still going strong there, which is good to see. As is Cole Laren, of course, at Southampton for some North American interest there as well. This is it's been a bit of a wild journey for Southampton to get to these playoffs. Southampton, with 13 games played, they were 21st. That was when Will Steele was sacked at the start of November. They lost 5 of their opening 13 games there. Now they are undefeated since mid-January. They've only dropped 10 points in those 19 games since mid-January, which I would imagine puts them as one of the best form teams in Europe at this point. At that point, when Southampton were 21st, Middlesbrough were second under super handsome Rob Edwards after 13 games. Super handsome Rob Edwards obviously quit in November to go and relegate Wolves instead. And Borough brought in Kim Kjellberg from Hammarby. Shout out to anyone who loves Hammarby on this listenership. So Borough were sort of first and second for most of the season, but their form's fallen off a bit. They've got only 2 wins from their last 7. So we've got a team which is very much gaining form and has a lot of momentum in Southampton to one that's had a lot of good form and is slightly dipping at the moment in Middlesbrough. But this one is at the Riverside Middlesbrough Stadium. Borough do have the head-to-head advantage. They've won all of their championship meetings with Southampton at the Riverside. They defeated Southampton 4-0 just a few months ago at the Riverside as well. And Southampton haven't kept a clean sheet in 5 matches either. As noted, they've never won at this stadium. Borough are the favourites, but this one, I would suggest, is very evenly poised, as these championship playoffs tend to be. So I'll be very interested to see how this one turns out. And, of course, whether Hull or Mill will face them in the playoff final.
Yeah, I think this, Ryan, is the one of these two playoffs to watch because Middlesbrough, I think, are really quite fun. Their tactical approach is aggressive. They're the Champo leader in possession this season. They're very fluid in how they move off the ball. If I could pick one of these 4 teams to go up, that would be the one that I would pick, even knowing full well that when they get promoted, they'll have to change literally everything about how they play. But still, I do like sort of in my heart to see that sort of thing rewarded. So I hope it's a fun game, and I hope that they make it through.
Excellent. And Joe, what kind of street party will we have when Middlesbrough go up?
Yep, inflatable Middlesbroughs. Good. Very simple.
Excellent.
The inflatable shop's getting some real business from me these days.
Oh, yeah. All that air being pumped into things in Phoenix. Can't hardly wait. That sounded gross and unintended. Joe, have you got a game you'd like to pick?
I would love to. The San Jose Earthquakes are hosting the Vancouver Whitecaps on Saturday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. This is 1v2 in the West. This is 1v2 in the Supporter Shield race. San Jose is 1, Vancouver is 2. These are real, legit teams. I mean, when you look at Vancouver this year, I think they are probably playing the best soccer in all of MLS. I think they're probably the best team in the league. But San Jose's rise has been well documented here on this show. We've talked about it quite a bit. The way that Bruce Arena has them playing and the talent that they've quietly assembled is quite impressive. Now, we don't know exactly what pieces are going to play for San Jose this weekend, and I think that could tilt this thing in Vancouver's favor. Nico Shakiris, who's been a breakout star in MLS this year, he's going to be in a USMNT uniform sooner than later. He came out in that draw that San Jose had on the road against Toronto last Saturday with what looked like a muscle injury. Don't really know what the status is there. I have not seen any updates as of recording. And then Timo Werner left during their Open Cup game with an injury, and he's already missed time earlier in the year with an injury. Those are San Jose's 2 best, and I would argue their 2 most important players. Even playing at home, I think their chances plummet against Vancouver if at least one of those guys isn't ready to go. It seems more likely that Shakiris would be ready, but there's also no reason for Bruce Arena to really go out there and risk something at this stage in the year. And for Vancouver, they were missing Thomas Muller against the Galaxy last weekend in their draw. Muller, it sounded like, was dealing with an illness, so I would expect that we would see him back for this game, but again, I don't know. And then, of course, around all of this, there's the chaos happening with the Vancouver Whitecaps right now, which we will talk about more as the story continues to unfold. But that team has done a remarkable job of staying focused amidst questions about literally what their lives are going to look like in a year, let alone in 3 or 4 years. The Caps play amazing, controlling soccer, the likes of which we've rarely seen in MLS. San Jose can rev the engines at a very, very impressive level, and they've got a bunch of good players, even if they're missing. Shakiris and Werner. Bolaru has been phenomenal this season. Ronaldo Vieira is quite thick as a lad, but he's playing that 6 role very, very well. The center backs are improving. I mean, there's just a lot to like about both of these teams. 1v2, like I said, I'll be watching this one on Saturday after the fact because I've got a Phoenix Rising game.
Excellent stuff.
Thick with the double C?
That is the kind I was referring to.
Right,
yes.
okay. Thick.
Yeah. Yep.
What's the difference?
Thick.
Well, the other thick implies something about someone's intelligence.
Like Kyle Walker versus, just look up Ronaldo Vieira and you'll get the idea.
Yeah.
Got it.
Ryan, may I spotlight 2 more things to the Bundesliga, please?
You may.
Thank you. We have 4th place Leverkusen playing 5th place Stuttgart. That will very likely determine who is going to get the final Champions League place. They are both level on points. Bayer Leverkusen ahead currently on goal difference, plus 23 to plus 20. So a huge game there with Champions League implications. Then at the bottom of the table, you have Wolfsburg now in 16th, level on points with St. Pauli in 17th. The goal difference again separating those two. Wolfsburg play Bayern Munich. St. Pauli play Leipzig. So there's an element there of like, if one loses worse than the other, maybe that position can change. But it sets up a really interesting final match day in which they play each other, Wolfsburg and St. Pauli. So the results this weekend, I doubt, are going to go either of their way. They're both 6 points behind Werder Bremen, who are 15th in the table. So it does seem like it will be Wolfsburg or St. Pauli, one of them getting automatically relegated, one of them having the playoff. But two very interesting games against two very good sides, setting up the final game against each other. Feels like fun billing to close out the season.
Tasty stuff. Thank you very much. Head to ESPN Select Max Plus for all your Bundesliga needs.
Indeed.
We'll have some Zweite Bundesliga action coming up in the next part because we're going to dip into our Discord and find out the games you, dear listener, are looking forward to. We break now. We come back in a minute. Total Soccer Show, welcome back to the Weekender. It's that time of the week where we find out which games you, dear listener, are looking forward to this weekend. We kick off with 26,000 units of Beast, who's looking forward to Liverpool versus Chelsea. Beast says it's because I don't know, do I have to watch Liverpool whip Chelsea? ? All jokes aside, hoping that Chelsea can turn things around to qualify for the Champions League. Beast being a Chelsea sympathiser. And they also note that AV Alta taking on Forward Madison in USL League One this weekend as well. Madison have looked pretty decent on their stretch of road games, hoping for one more away win before returning home next week.
Madison. Boo, Madison. Well, I said nice things about them and got a lot of stick from it at the Richmond Kickers game this past weekend. So, Boo Madison, yay Richmond. Also, can Chelsea still qualify for the Champions League? Is that a thing?
They can, but they won't. I think.
I mean, but it basically requires Villa to win the Europa League at this point, right?
So I'm looking at the table now. They are currently, they're 10 points, so they cannot finish 5th anymore. They can still finish 6th. So you're right, but they need Villa to win the Europa League, and they still need to make up some ground on Bournemouth and Brentford and Brighton above them.
The Bees.
The Bees.
Yes, and of course we know the result of Aston Villa's semi-final in the Europa League as we record on this Friday.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah, very good.
I can't believe that thing happened or didn't happen, and that player did that thing or didn't do that thing.
I loved it when they did or didn't do that thing. That was true.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Really
Joe still
crazy.
thinks it didn't matter what the coaching was, but I'm inclined to disagree.
No, but we all had a good time at the end of the day. That's what can be said. You got so the Mingos are after you, are they, Taylor?
No, the Kickaroos are after me, is who was displeased. No, Ford Madison, lovely. They bring beer and play Foursquare and have nice kits. See, here I go again, saying nice things about them. Boo Madison.
Sounds like you should be a Forward Madison fan.
No. Gross.
Yeah. Backward Madison.
Yeah.
You showed them.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's go to Discord. Stu, who's looking forward to Portland Thorns against Racing. Can I say Racing? I'm not going to do it. Racing Louisville on Friday.
Yeah.
If I'm going to say Louisville, not Louisville, can I say Racing?
All right, fair enough. I take it back. I like it.
Thanks. Racing Louisville on Friday. The Thorns are top of the NWSL table, while Louisville are second from bottom. However, if you look at the XGD table, the Thorns are down in 10th. There's a lurking narrative that may be that the Thorns aren't as good as their result. So I want them to dominate Louisville to make us all feel better. Joe, do I have to look at the XGD table? Do I have to do that?
You don't have to do it, but maybe other people will or will want to. Expected goal differential, I think, does say that the Thorns are out over their skis a little bit so far. This could be an interesting game because both of these teams are bottom of the league in possession. Racing, I'm kind of into this now. Right. Racing's on the bottom, and then the Thorns are right behind them or right above them, depending on how you want to think about that. The thing for the Thorns is, and this is not totally unique to them, they're getting healthier and they're getting more available, I suppose, is maybe a better term, because Sophia Wilson is back and she is firing now in a very real way, and she is elite at this point. So there is a lot to like about the direction that the Thorns are going in. I'm not as warm on the outlook for Racing Louisville this season, but this game still could be an absolute battle because of the stylistic stuff I mentioned already.
Okay, and Taylor, I think it's just put a pronunciation guide in for that team, so it's Wilshire is how
That's it.
Got it. Thank you. Excellent. Stu is also looking forward to Leeds against Tottenham. That one's on Monday, of course, as we noted. The relegation implications are obvious and exciting, and I think Leeds are going to win and go on to win this one. Spurs will be hoping Leeds take the match for granted, being so close to safety. They will indeed.
Yeah, I think that is the hope for Spurs. And also the fact that Spurs do seem to have turned a little bit of a corner. Like, De Zerbi is absolutely getting his players to do things in a way that Tudor and Thomas Frank never were. So, I'm more hopeful about Spurs' chances of staying up than I was a few weeks ago when I thought they looked a little bit doomed. Leeds, as someone pointed out to me a couple of days ago, Leeds are now 5 points behind Chelsea, which says something about both their form and also how Chelsea have collapsed over the last few weeks.
And the parity of the Premier League.
And also how bad Chelsea are, yeah.
Very good. All right. Cray is looking forward to the USL2 clash with Des Moines Menace kicking off their season this weekend with a friendly against the Capital City Roots. It's the first time I've had people around me interested enough to go to a game, so hopefully we'll be getting to do that. That's awesome. And Joe, Des Moines Menace is an elite name. I love that.
Oh yeah. And Des Moines Menace are the team that stacks or has tended to stack their Open Cup run with recently retired MLS players like Benny Feilhaber, Bradley Wright Phillips. I think maybe they had Dax. There's a whole long list.
Question played for them, right?
Question. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. But there's been a whole crew, and they're doing the fun, interesting stuff. And the name rules, as you said, top tier, phenomenal.
Benny Feilhaber's on the roster here. It looks like.
There you go.
Bradley Wright Phillips.
Yeah, this is not a current roster anymore, but they have added those players in the past.
Dax McCarty's on there too.
Yeah, all players.
Wikipedia's telling me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this basically the MLS 360 pundits?
Right.
It's a dual contract.
That's right.
I'm just checking. I pulled up because I wanted to see if anyone was called Dennis. No one's called Dennis on the Menace.
Not yet.
Yeah, that missing piece there. Very good.
Sassuolo.
Menace?
Got you.
David from Tampa says the Tampa Bay Sun play their last home game of the season. Definitely a team of first. They received the league's first ever red card, were the first champions of the league, and they're the first team eliminated from playoff contention this season. What a run of firsts. They're playing Dallas Trinity, who are still in playoff contention, so I'm hoping to see some chaos brew during the game. Excellent.
Graham got wistful about the Tampa Bay Sun there. I think he got quite excited about that.
Not about the team, just Tampa Bay Sun sounds nice.
What it actually is.
The concept of sunshine.
If the Tampa Bay Sun have let you down, at least the Rowdies are phenomenal in USL. They might be the best team in the USL Championship. There's that. At least you got something.
Tampa Bay Sun is surely the team that sounds most like a local newspaper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, Des Moines Menace.
I wouldn't read the Menace. I mean, unless I was reading about Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I
don't
know. Between the Sun and the Menace, I feel like the Menace is at least has some like journalists that are getting investigative journalists that are getting in people's grills and finding out the truth.
Yeah, they're phone
The
hacking.
Sun is just like, I don't know, like worst beach bods over and over again.
Yeah. And the Sun can be a menace, of course, if you don't wear sunscreen. So look out for that.
Well said.
Very good. John Adams is looking forward to the Chan Classico. That is Angel City versus San Diego Wave at 5:45 Pacific on ION. See. Wave have been off to a strong start, but just dropped 2 straight to Portland and Bay. Similarly, ACFC have won their first 3, then dropped their last 3. Who can stop their slide? And John Adams adds that the rivalry game being called Chan Classico is because chancla means flip-flop or sandal in Spanish, which seems appropriate for that part of the world. That's great.
I really like that. This is the first time that I've heard of that. I think this San Diego team has been more fun than I expected them to be in the NWSL so far this year, and that really part of that is because they don't have Cat Macario yet, and so my expectations were a little bit lower. But they've played some very, very fun stuff so far, and have maybe my favorite NWSL player in Jorginho, 20-year-old Brazilian. She is electric on the left wing for this team. She arrived last season, now is in the midst of her first full season for San Diego. She's already got 5 goal contributions and 8 starts this year. She is just a wizard on that left side. Has been so much fun to watch. Watch this game for her alone if you're going to watch it all.
Excellent stuff. A couple more game recommendations. This one from AJ. It's one we mentioned earlier. It's Borough taking on Southampton. That's 7:30 Eastern on what AJ calls the Star Trek app. Is Paramount because they have Star Trek on it? Is that why?
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Let's go with that. After visiting them last month, I can say the people of Middlesbrough are good and welcoming, so hopefully their seagull-infested stadium will be full of joy this weekend. Aidan Morris and Tommy Conway play for them, and they're both as polite as they are handsome. You've been tracking AJ's been doing sort of a UK trip and went to Borough as well. Nice. Teesside, a lot of seagulls apparently. I didn't know that. There we are.
I didn't either, but now I do. Seagull infested apparently.
Yeah. I hope they're paying their way.
Not Brighton fans, I presume. Actual seagulls.
It might be.
Maybe.
You couldn't get much further from Middlesbrough than Brighton in UK geography, so it's a long trip.
Oh, you can. I'm sitting in it.
English geography.
All right, English geography. Right, there we go.
One more game recommendation from Gundal. It wouldn't be a weekender if we didn't go to the Zweite Bundesliga. Gundal says 2 weeks remain in the Zweite promotion race. No head-to-heads this week, so I'll need to find time for 3 separate matches. And frankly, listener, if you don't make time for 3 separate Zweite Bundesliga matches, I don't know what you're doing. Gundal on Friday says, Paderborn, who are currently outside looking in with 56 points, they host Karlsruhe. Saturday, Hanover, currently in the playoff spot with 57 points. They travel to Bochum. And on Sunday, Elversberg, whose 58 points lead the race, travel to Dusseldorf. Of the three opponents, Dusseldorf has the most to play for. They currently sit in the relegation playoff spot. So much action in this fight.
Yeah. I mean, actually, legitimately very, very good scenes coming out of this fight with Schalke getting promoted back to the Bundesliga. Videos of them celebrating in Ibiza in the last few days have surfaced. Looks like they've been having a good time. And to me, like the era that I think of with the Bundesliga, when I think about the league, is still the Pulisic at Dortmund and McKennie at Schalke era, and just the rivalry between those two clubs, and that we're going to get a taste of that again makes me very happy.
There we go. Excellent stuff. That is our Discord game recommendations. If you join our Patreon, and I really hope you do listen if you haven't already, you can also join the TSS Scouting Network, where you can be assigned a player or you can pick one to scout for the season. We have many members of the Scouting Network. We're going to read out some of their reports, starting with Graham saying some words right now. Here he goes.
So Sean Mara has been in touch, and Sean is scouting Divine Mukasa, who's an 18-year-old attacking midfielder from Manchester City.
Great name.
Sean writes, it is a great name, and I think there might be more on that. Divine Tavon Mahogany Mukasa, to give him his full name.
One more time, Graham. That's superb.
Divine Tavon Mahogany Mukasa, not the Sean writes, not the Divine of John Waters film fame, is a talented 18-year-old loaned out by Man City to Leicester City. Leicester City, quote, so much to answer for, could not be saved from the drop by divine intervention. I like that. Nice. See what you did there. He did okay, but it's hard to shine on a crap team. Oh, we've gone really frank here. What hasn't killed him has made him stronger, and we expect more success in the future. Love that.
I'm just going to assume we're all going to put hands in the air for this one. We're all familiar with the Divine from John Waters, yeah?
Very much so.
Hands up? Yep, of course.
Yep.
Great song.
Sure.
Shoot your shot. Drag queen who is the inspiration for Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
As in John Waters' Pink Flamingos, the filmmaker?
Yes.
Same one?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
That
Very
one.
good
Divine.
guest star in The Simpsons. Of course, as well.
Yes. Yes, that's right.
Very good. Divine Tavon Mahogany Mukasa. Favorite new name locked in. Love it. I'm going to read a report here from Ed Ritter. It's submitted this one on Adri Mehmeti, of course, 17-year-old defensive midfielder with the Red Bulls. The Red Bulls have played 13 games, most of them poorly, in all comps this year. Adri has started everyone and went 90 in both losses this week. He was the best midfielder for the team by a country mile in the woeful home loss to FC Dallas. Rumours abound about big clubs following him, and he has a European passport. Lucky him. Must be nice. Very good. Joe, what you got?
I have a scouting report here from Nick Catano scouting Diego Coquin, 20-year-old goalkeeper for FC Barcelona. Coquin started all of Barcelona B's final games and performed admirably. However, the team fell just outside the promotion playoffs and their season has concluded. The summer transfer window will be an important crossroads for Coquin. He currently sits behind Garcia and Chesney, and 4 additional keepers are returning from loan, including the past number 1 in club captain Marc-Andre ter Stegen, all of whom will make the keeper room very crowded. There are many possible outcomes for Coquin, ranging from Coquin himself being loaned out to Barcelona selling or loaning enough players to put Coquin in the second spot behind Garcia. Time will tell, but this will be an interesting situation to monitor. My prediction is Chesney will go back to the beach to smoke cigarettes in retirement.
Nice.
Ter Stegen will be sold, then a few sales, loans again, and Coquin will be number 2 or number 3.
I was going to say, you don't really want to be sitting behind Chesney with his cigarettes.
Some passive smoking going on there, yeah. We don't think he stopped smoking to play again, do we?
Sure.
No, he didn't. I know for a fact he didn't. I've seen pictures of it.
No,
Gotta love it.
Isn't that like the 95-year-old man who like only eats bacon and smokes cigarettes? It's like at a certain point you can't change it, or
Right.
who knows
It's
what
working.
Mr. Burns' Three Stooges disease could befall you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he's also slightly hysterically pregnant. Like Mr. Burns was then.
Another
I
Simpsons
love that
reference.
episode.
I'm just going to move us on to Alex Davies, scouting Benoni Brecky Andresen, 20-year-old forward for Stockport County? Stockport City?
County.
FC?
Okay. The last 2 games of the regular season, Benoni finally made it back on the bench from his injury. He came on in the second half of both of the last 2 games of the regular season and scored the winner to seal County's place in the League One playoffs in the last game versus Barnsley. He scored in the 9th minute of stoppage time on a counterattack breakaway to win 3-1. Can't wait to see if he makes an impact in the playoffs, says Alex.
Excellent stuff. Thank you very much, everybody who submitted a scouting report. Once again, if you'd like to get involved, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/Total Soccer Show, and get in the mixer. See if you can find a better name than Tavon Mahogany Mukasa. Absolutely.
Jan Vonnegut has the link, as always.
Nice.
That's a good one.
That's good.
I want to see Divine Tavon Mahogany Mukasa maybe at the Menace one day.
Dreams do come true, please.
Can you imagine it? Can you imagine it? Unbelievable. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got an interview with an official who's going to be officiating at this summer's World Cup. Join us then. Total Soccer Show, welcome back to the Weekender. Graham, you are a kit collector. Have you ever, or would you ever buy a referee shirt?
No, of course not. I mean, I guess depends how...
Why was that a dumb question?
Well, because, I don't know, stigma, I guess. Like, can you imagine? What, have I got cards and whistles as well?
If you like.
That could be more fun, actually. You're winning me over.
Yeah, there you go. Well, have a think about it. Has any of you ever refereed a game or officiated any kind of level of game? Taylor has?
A long time ago, yeah.
Didn't
That
get
was
the bug?
an easy way to make money when you were a teenager.
Oh, you got paid?
Oh, yeah.
Like
And I
a
hated
school-
it.
By
high
one of
school
the
thing?
teams.
Yes, exactly, yeah. I was
Oh,
big into
that's
match
your
fixing
summer
at
in
a
Italy.
age.
That's right.
Yeah.
A brown
Italy and
envelope.
South Africa, those are my two.
A brown envelope. This is awkward because the other team gave me this as well.
Graham, if you were going to go officiating shirt, it feels like it's kind of all the same style, and then it's like black, green, red, or yellow, or blue. What would you go with?
Yellow. Highlighter yellow.
I like the confidence of that answer. Not at all the desperate, I have no good answer to this one, so I'm just going to throw out a color. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow's most fun.
Yeah.
I like yellow. Big Coldplay fan. Very good. All right. We have got an interview coming up right now, which I recorded a little while ago with Lyes Arfa, who is a FIFA referee official, I should say. Born in Russia, grew up in Algeria and Quebec, has refereed in the Canadian Premier League, has been an MLS referee since 2020, officiated at the Club World Cup last summer as well, and has been selected as an official for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, I learned many things in this interview, including that the refs don't actually know which games they're going to be working this summer yet. There's kind of a camp where they determine that coming up before the tournament. But lots to learn here from my chat with Lyes Arfa. Here it goes. Lyes, thank you very much for joining us. My first question for you, I want to know what drives a man to become an official in soccer. When did you first feel you were drawn to refereeing and to officiating?
I think it happened by accident at the beginning. The lack of referees around North America is very present. So I tried it. Someone talked about it to my dad, and he introduced me to that. So I tried it, and I liked it. And then it became a passion. And I'm someone who grew up with football, and it's my main sport. So for me, it became something natural, and it gave me another way to enjoy the game. And at some point, a couple of years ago, the football level in North America wasn't as it is now, so the possibilities to develop as player were limited, and probably as well my talent was limited at some point. So I decided to push as a referee, and it gave me the opportunity to reach the highest level possible.
That's great. So in your experience, do most referees start off as players and when they're younger, and then they make the transition to become officials? I
think you have a vast majority start as player and then transition at some point. Try it. Some start because it's an easy summer job, especially in Canada, because during winter back then it was less convenient to play football. But then they've developed a passion and they become. It's rare someone without any experience start, but it exists, and some of them are successful at the highest level as well.
Okay. Do you remember the first match you officiated and how it went?
Yeah, I remember. It was a doubleheader, 2 U16 female match, local level in Laval, just north of Montreal. and I did the first game as an assistant referee and the second one as a referee. I called a penalty, but beside that, I don't remember much.
Okay. But you went home that day thinking, yes, this is for me. I want to carry on doing this.
I was maybe not sure after that game, but then I had experienced more. It was a local level, so it was not it was not the level we see, the passion we see in general. It was just kids enjoying being on a football field on a Saturday afternoon. But then I had the opportunity to ref at higher levels and where it became more a sport than just something where you just spend some time in the afternoon during weekends.
Sure. What in your experience, what kind of person, what kind of personality is well suited to be a referee? I imagine you have to be calm but authoritative and stern. You have to have a very particular personality.
I think it's a mix of various personalities. You need to be flexible. That's I think the most important thing for a referee. You need to be strict when you have to. You need to be able to communicate with players when you have to, and you need to establish a relation with the players. And if you are able to do that, then you're able to progress in refereeing. Fitness, you need to be a fit person. Fitness is our passport if you want to. If you don't reach the minimum, then you won't be able to go to the next levels. And of course, you need to know the law of the games by heart.
Of course, yeah. So on that note, you've gone from the under-16 game you mentioned up to the very highest level, the World Cup now.
Yeah.
What was the toughest part of sort of going up that pyramid and progressing? Is it getting all the laws in your head? Is there a certain point where you have to pass some exams? How hard is it to progress up that pyramid?
I never had difficulties with the law of the games and the fitness aspect. I'd say it's gaining experience because in my early years, even as a national referee in Canada, the number of games was limited at the professional level. So we were doing maybe 4 to 8 for the lucky ones professional games per season per year. When now it's around 25 just in MLS. For an international referee, you need to add the international games and then cup games and everything. So now it's maybe between 30 and 40 games per season for a referee. But the reality maybe 10 years ago was completely different. And gaining experience, facing structured teams and dealing with that kind of play, I think was the most challenging part. Because of the limited opportunities.
Yeah, and obviously you officiated at the Club World Cup last summer, and it's the World Cup this summer. Yeah. How does it work? How do you get assigned to be in a World Cup? Do you just get a phone call one day and you're in?
If it was that easy, that'll be funny. But no, it's a long process, and it starts when you become an international referee. You're invited to different event, different tournament. Then you need to form a team. I formed a team with Drew Fisher and Michael Berwigan, both as well from Canada. So we're working as a trio on the international level. Then we were selected for the Olympic Games in Paris. That was our first major event together. The experience was successful. Then we were invited to the Club World Cup. So you're always tested, and the international level, it's at the international events that you're put to the test if you want to, and if they're happy, then they invite you to more complicated and bigger stage tournaments.
And how do you feel? Do you feel that there's more pressure when you go to these high level games? When you're at a World Cup, will you feel like it's very different to Canada or to MLS? Do you feel like an extra weight on your shoulders when you know that many more people are watching?
I think the environment is different. There's of course more people watching, but our experience, everything we did in the past prepared us for those moments. And I always tell that the most complicated period, it was at the beginning of my career when I did my first Canadian Championship Cup game. It was the first time I officiated an MLS team. It was facing Ottawa Fury. Back then they were playing in the USL. And it's the first experience I had with an MLS team at the highest level. I was not in the MLS yet. And the first 15 minutes, you see the difference of the speed. You see the difference of the tactics, and you find ways to adapt. And the ways you find to adapt, your flexibility, you can use them later in your career when you reach different levels. Same thing at the Club World Cup last year. Once we knew how to deal with the pressure, it becomes another game, and we focus on the task ahead. Because if you want to be successful, you need to find ways during your career to deal with that pressure, and to limit the highs and limit the lows as well especially during a game. If you make a mistake or you have a good decision, in a couple of seconds you have another decision to make. So you need to be able to switch your focus and get back to the appropriate concentration for the next decision.
And so when you're in the zone and you're concentrating like that, is it harder when the teams have a high level of intensity, if they're pressing high and if they're moving a lot more? Does that make your job harder if you've got to keep up with play a bit more? And like if you were like at a PSG or a Bayern Munich and they were zipping up and down the field, is that trickier for you?
It is trickier, but at the same time, that's why we work on almost a daily basis on our fitness. So we're of course, you have fast players, but we develop ways to be ready for those moments, and we develop techniques and everything. And in every game we adapt, and once we understand the approach, and even before the game, we prepare them through video, through specific exercises, sometimes on the field. But you need to be ready for those games, because the game will not be waiting for you. You need to prepare it in advance.
Okay, and on that preparation, obviously there's fitness preparation. How much are you looking at the teams you're going to referee, and are you talking to other officials like, this player, he's going to do this, this player's going to, this team tends to do this? Are you sort of comparing notes with other officials who've worked with those teams before?
I say in general, yes, especially more in international events where we have less knowledge of the teams we will be officiating. They're not teams from our national competitions. On the national level, it's a bit different because we see them often, and we have access to various videos. And same thing at the international level, we have access to different videos to prepare past games, past analysis of the team, so we can prepare it. But yes, there's a constant exchange of information between referees in order to be ready for the challenge, and find a strategy to be as efficient as possible.
That's great. And when you talk about strategies, I'm interested to know how you could, if you got any techniques or tips for like keeping a game in control, calming down situations that can flare up. Sometimes a game can get a bit out of control and there's a lot of yellow cards flying here and there. Is there a way you can sort of put a lid on that, and like you've calmed down a player who needs to be calmed down, or that must come up quite a bit, right?
It's once you identify a player that could create issues on a game, you think about the strategy, how to approach them. Some players you need to be more strict. Some it's more in you approach it with discussion, and your adaptation, your preparation will make easier your work. And instead of having a fiery reaction, then he may calm down because you reacted in the right way. And I think constant communication with the players, understanding what they expect, it makes your job easier at the end.
And you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to, but what's the funniest thing a player has said to you during a game that maybe has caught you off guard, or something you weren't expecting that you've had a conversation on the field?
It's It's a good question, but nothing comes to mind to be honest. But it talks about the focus on the game. So players we're constantly talking with them, and there's sometimes jokes, it's a funny situation on the field, bring some laughter, but once the joke or the comment made, then we go back to the game. We focus on the game, and we kind of forget it. And maybe later on in our when we think about it, maybe it comes back, but maybe sometimes not. So, but nothing comes in particular, to be honest with you.
Okay. But players will sometimes, they'll go off the handle, they'll swear, they'll get a bit out of control, presumably.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's, emotions are part of the sport, and that's why we like the sport, because it creates a lot of emotions. I think the most important thing for an official is not to overreact, to be as calm as possible, and to confront or discuss with the player on the appropriate tone, and adapt your approach to the specific player, in order to have the best result possible. But staying calm is the main thing, and that's what people expect from the referee in general. But you have to be strict on some situation in order to get results.
So I suppose it's kind of like being a good manager at like a business, right? Mostly it's about managing people and managing
Exactly,
the way
exactly,
people behave, right?
exactly. It's refereeing has to do a lot with managing people, and the personality as an official, as a referee, that you need to bring on the field is very important, because through personality you can have the best success in managing certain situation, and sometimes it's our best tool to use personality.
So let's talk about VAR for a second as well. How much has that changed your life? And particularly if you're an assistant referee,
Yeah.
does it takes a bit of pressure off knowing you don't have to necessarily bring your flag up straight away?
I think it became a tool that allows everyone just to calm down, and at the end of the day, we know there's a team that rewatches our decision, and will jump in if it's necessary to adapt it. So it makes it a bit easier, and we see it more as a tool there to help us than anything else. And when it's used properly, I think it had good results in general. So it's not a big issue. And the only adaptation we had to as assistant referees is to delay our decision, finish the play basically, and not straight up raise the flag and take the decision. But you need to announce your decision when it happens, and then continue with the play. So keep on running until the play is ended, or until the play goes into another direction.
And how different is it to referee, say, a World Cup game to an MLS game? From competition to competition, does it vary? Like in some leagues, you'll let more decisions go. Some have slightly different rules. Is that something to be aware of?
I think between leagues in general and competitions with knockout stages, or very limited group games, the importance of a specific game is bigger, and it brings more emotion on the field. And every competition, every confederation have their have their interpretation. They have their directive in order to have the game, the officiating as most adaptable as to the game they wanna see played during that event. So it tends to be similar, but there's slight differences between leagues and competitions in general. But at the end of the game, it's the same law of the games, and the vast majority of what we apply is applied within the law of the games, and within the same the same level of tolerance, if you want.
Right. Okay. And what's the lifestyle on the travel like? I'm assuming you've got a lot of air miles. And is it
Yeah.
can it be lonely? Are you traveling with the other officials? Like, are you a lot of time on your own?
But when we're in a competition in general, we travel together. But during during the league games, national at the national level, we travel pretty much lonely. So we do a lot of traveling, especially in North America. For example, I live in Quebec City, so on the northeast, and we have sometimes games on the southwest of America. So I have to go across the whole continent to officiate a game. So, but we get used to it. We develop strategies, and I mean, we go through Netflix, through Prime, and various TV apps and everything, just to keep us entertained. But we develop, and I use the time as well to work on my other job. So we it's a lot, but it forces us to develop recovery strategies, because it's long distance a lot of the time, and but it's part of our reality, and we get used to it. It's different from other parts of the world where the distance between cities is limited, and it's rare they fly to their destination, and when they arrive in environment like North America, it makes it a bit more complicated for them to adapt. But us, it became the reality. It's not even anymore an issue. When I started, I remember it was challenging, but now it's part of the reality. Even in Quebec City, it's a smaller airport, so people recognize me because they used to see me come in every week.
Very nice. And do you know how many games you have this summer, or do you know what your travel plans
Now
are?
we have no clue. The assignments are based on performance, so we go there for 10 days. There's a training seminar, and then the assignment, when the tournament comes, we receive them. I think 2-3 days before. So we have no clue, and our focus for now is to finish the season. I mean, keep on going with the season in MLS before traveling to the World Cup, but no idea on what's expected.
So at that session, are they judging you? Are they deciding where you're going to be officiating in that session?
You need to ask them how they do that, but in general, they always try to get the most informed referees for the games, and it's up to us to go on the field and perform during the various training sessions we do there.
Excellent. You've been very generous with your time, Lyes. I've got one more question for you.
Yes.
I'd like to know, in your opinion, what makes a truly great referee? Because I've always subscribed to the idea that a good refereeing performance is one you don't notice. If no one's talking about you at the end of the game, presumably that's a good thing. So what in your mind makes a great referee?
I think it's someone who shows personality, and intervenes when he has to intervene, to manage the players, the technical staff as well when needed. It's someone who's very fit, and his fitness is not limiting him to go from point A to point B, and sometimes go through point A prime. But he need to find the best angles. And I think it's someone who's calm and can take his decision cold-headed. And I think if you have these three elements, you can do a mix, and it will produce you the best official. And people may see him in action, but will appreciate his interventions on specific occasions.
Excellent stuff. Well, Lyes Arfa, thank you very much for your time. We'll be looking out for you this summer. All the best. Thank you very much.
All right, my pleasure. Thank you.
And there we go. That was my chat with Lyes Arfa. Thank you very much to Lyes once again for his time there. Graham, while that was playing out, I assume you went on to Classic Referee shirts and got a couple for yourself, did you?
Yeah, and the shorts and the socks, full kit wanker have really gone for it with a whistle and the brown envelope as well.
I bet you could get. Do you remember early 90s Premier League? They had sort of that green with the black pinstripe, the David Ellery.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
That was a nice look. It had the lion on it.
I bet that's fashionable now.
Yeah.
I bet there's a Gen Z kid somewhere. I bet Chalamet has worn that.
Chalamet's an Adidas guy, of course, now we know.
Of course.
Yeah, very good. Excellent stuff. I think that concludes the Weekender. Thank you very much, listener, for joining us on this intrepid journey. If you tune into the feed on Saturday, you will find our listener questions there. Do look out for that on the feed. But for now, Taylor Rockwell, thank you very much. Hope next week's better than this one for you, bud.
Thank you, my friend. You as well.
Joe Larry, thank you very much, sir.
Hey, thanks, Ryan.
And Graham Ruthven, pleasure as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan Bailey.
Listener, thank you once again for joining us. We'll be back on the feed with that listener questions on Saturday morning. But for now, bye.